from Sammy's Restaurant at 202 U.S. Highway 90 East in Castroville. Sports for Supper, a weekly look at what's happening in area sports. And now, along with Maury Stein, Dwayne Garza, and Jeff Stivers, here's the host of Sports for Supper, Jared Lucky.
Hello, Spence.
Good evening and welcome to Sports for Supper. This is our first broadcast of the year. I am Jared Lucky along with Maury Stein, Dwayne Garza, and Jeff Stivers. Garrison Garza along with us also. And brought to you this year by Brenda Stein Photography. And we are set for the first broadcast of the season. We'll have 10 of these going forward. This broadcast is meant for more of a preview of the upcoming football season. Volleyball season, I believe, is already kicked off, and we'll have some of that for you here. We've got some volleyball players and some football players coming up a little later on in the broadcast. But Maury, Dwayne, guys, it's good to be back on the air here.
I couldn't be more happy to get the season going, and I know Garrison's standing by. He's learning the new ropes. Dwayne's sitting next to him and getting ready to gear up for the volleyball. And, Dwayne, you've already witnessed some of the volleyball already, so you've got some young ladies here that are going to sit in and you get to grill them a little bit. So
yeah, Maury,
just a quick note, how do you think the season started so far?
The season's looking real good. I mean, they're mid-season, I would almost say. So I mean, they've already played quite a few games, and it's been exciting so far. And we'll talk about a little bit more as we get into the program.
And as Jared mentioned, we have a title sponsor this year for Sports for Supper at Sammy's. It's Brenda Stein Photography, and you can go to the website www.brendasteinphotos.com to schedule any kind of photography you need, whether it's save the date, graduation cards, family photos, sporting events. Just contact Brenda Stein at www.brendasteinphotos.com. And Jared, we made the long trip last year to Waco La Vega. We don't have to make it this year, but they're coming in highly ranked once again, as they did last year.
Well, and they won the state championship last year, and there they are ranked, I believe, number one in the state again coming into this season. And, you know, Medina Valley with a new coaching regime, Chris Sosa's moved on. He's gone to Beeville, and Lee Crisp has stepped in. Homegrown product here from Medina Valley, and he stepped in as the new head coach and athletic director for the Panthers. And it'll be interesting to see what he implements this season and what he keeps from what these guys have been running for the last 3 years.
With that said, what Jared reiterated about homegrown, I like it, Dwayne. I like it that you've got a guy, and if you were not here to watch the way Lee Crisp played linebacker, he still, I believe, has the record for tackles in a season by a Medina Valley linebacker. So it's not that he hasn't been there before, and I like what the Panthers have done. They've turned it over to some local guys. We can get that flavor back in and bring back the tradition.
And that's the key word right there, Maury's tradition. And you're talking homegrown, and our offensive coordinator, and Coach Garza, is homegrown too. He played football and all the sports back here in the early 80s, so that tradition is turning the corner and coming back around.
Yeah, and I graduated with Robbie, and I know what kind of athlete he was. He actually went on and played college baseball.
That's right.
For 4 years at St. Edwards, if I'm correct. Is that correct?
That is correct, and he'll be teaming up with Coach Herb again during the baseball season. So I like it. I think it's good, and you have the mixture of the new coaches that are coming in, the coaches that have been with us the last couple of years, and you get a little bit of a taste of what they can bring in. So overall, I think we've got a great product.
Homegrown. You work in Hondo, and that's something that they've kind of went away with. We're back to where we should be. We need to bring that tradition back on a Friday night, Jared, to Panther Stadium.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right, Maury. And I know we've got 5 volleyball players. We've got 6 football players and Coach Mo here tonight. Do y'all want to get going with some of the interviews with the players, or do you want to talk a little bit first, Jeff?
Yeah, I want everybody – I hope if you're listening, you found out how to log in and watch us. You can watch us on Facebook Live, which you just go like our Facebook page, Medina Valley Broadcast Network. You can go to our YouTube page and find our channel, Medina Valley Broadcast Network. And tonight's title for the channel is Sports for Supper. Or, like always, you can go to www www.mvbn.net and click on the live icon down at the bottom of the page below Sports for Supper, and that should take you to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, and I think you can just go to YouTube and you can search Medina Valley Broadcast Network, and it'll bring it up also.
Now, is that something new that you're implementing this year to make it more applicable to people to find the
more accessible? Yes, it's very easy
Absolutely,
to access.
yeah.
'cause
It's more
now
tech friendly for people to use.
It's not tech friendly for me, but right now the way we're working it is, you can go to Facebook. You'll see it on your feed, and you may forget about it, and you're just scrolling through Facebook, and there it is, and you can click on it and watch us. Or you can watch the games. You can go to the website at any time and click on the link at the website, like always, or, you can go to the YouTube channel. So there's 3 different ways now that you can access what we're doing currently. It's not a final deal. We're kind of trial and error right now, but hopefully this will all work out. And by next Wednesday, we'll have something set in stone, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. But I hope everybody's tuned in. I hope you're listening. And if you're not, you're here, because there's a lot of people showing up here. And great thing for Sammy's. And
I was just going to say, before we get started, I want to thank Sammy's for hosting us again this year. They do a great job getting us the bar. We've got a pretty good-sized crowd here for our first show tonight, but hats off to Sammy's for hosting us again.
Absolutely.
And thanks to all of our sponsors, guys. I mean, last year, thanks to you guys, thanks to Garrison Garza, also with our student intern, who's now a varsity player, so he may not be around as much as last year. Hopefully he's not around as much as last year. But, things really worked well last year, and we had our issues, but, all in all, I think everything's been great, and I appreciate all 3 of you guys coming back for another season as well. You know what they say, if you're happy, you work happy, you are happy, I hope. So you guys seem to be happy with everything, and I'm thrilled to have you guys back, and thanks to all of our sponsors and the new ones and the ones that are returning, and we'll get into all that as we go along.
And we talked about Sports for Supper at Sammy's on how gracious a hosts they are. And what people don't realize is when these young men and young women come in, they feed them nachos, and it's something they wouldn't have to do, but they do it because it's part of the community. And you know what? That's what we're trying to get back to, bringing back the tradition to Wayne and Jared, like we mentioned. Homegrown people now in charge. That's what the community is supposed to be about.
It's funny, Maury, because around football season and baseball season, when I played back in the early to mid 80s, we came to Sammy's. We had the jumbo cheeseburgers after baseball games. We had the meals after the football games. So I'm glad to see that, like we talked about earlier, the tradition is coming back, and we want to make it like it used to be.
Yeah, and another thing I'd like to point out to all the listeners out there is you don't have to sit at home and listen to this. You can show up right here in the bar and listen to us live, eat your dinner, Sports for Supper. You can have it right here, and you can listen to the broadcast right here and join us live and watch this go down.
Love to see it.
We even take questions from the audience every so often, as long as they don't get too
rowdy or personal.
And don't be surprised we asked you to be a guest on the show for just a couple of minutes, if you've got some insight.
Well, and I'm sure some of the coaches will feel some questions, but the one thing we want to get at is we're never going to talk about a young man on the air, about what they could have done last week, because that's not going to happen here. You keep it down to earth. You got a question to ask, we'll answer you, but nothing personal.
Absolutely,
absolutely.
It's about the community, and it's about the kids, and it's about getting to know everybody.
Our title says it all. It's the Medina Valley Broadcast Network. So we're here for Medina Valley.
Yes,
absolutely. And let's go ahead, or you want to go? Let's go ahead and take a commercial break and thank a couple of our sponsors, and then we will be back. And I'll turn it over to Dwayne to get some volleyball going for us. You're listening to Sports for Supper at Sammy's, and we'll continue in just a moment.
This is MVBN, the Medina Valley Broadcast Network. Headed out to the game? Then make a stop at your local Valley Mart convenience store. With 12 area locations, Valley Mart is always right around the corner. Fuel yourself and your vehicle with quality branded gas and diesel, snacks, and fountain drinks. Always convenient, well lit with clean restrooms. Valley Mart, family owned and operated since 1984, and a proud supporter of Medina Valley athletics and area youth sports for over 30 years.
Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries. This includes hose reels, big guns, pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine well pumps, booster pumps, motors, valves, and an inventory of much more. Stop by one of their locations in Hondo and Pearsall, or give them a call at 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment, bringing water to you.
Medina Electric Cooperative was built by this community 80 years ago. And for 80 years, we've delivered safe, reliable, and affordable energy. We're proud to be a part of this community and to serve beyond the power lines. You can find us supporting your kids' Little League, sponsoring school events, hosting safety presentations, and so much more. We're honored to belong to this community. Keep up with Medina Electric.
You're watching Medina Valley Sports. This is the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
Welcome back here to Sammy's Restaurant, Sports for Supper. This is our first broadcast of the season, and we have some of the volleyball players joining us here, and I'm going to turn it over to Dwayne Garza to interview them and get it going for the season.
Coach Griggs couldn't be with us here today, so we have three girls here from the varsity team that we'll talk to a little bit. Before we do that, I just want to run over some highlights from last year real quick, some notes that, in case you didn't know what was going on. Three great accomplishments last year. Number one, by-district champions. I mean, great job, girls. Win over Alamo Heights for by-district champions, the first trip to the playoffs since 2015. And the first playoff win in 9 years. So that's a big deal for the volleyball program, big deal for the school. The second big accomplishment is total wins. 29 total wins, most ever for Medina Valley volleyball team last year. So another great pat on the back for that. And number three, a great pat on the back for your coach. Early last season, she eclipsed 400 wins. And I think as of right now, she's probably pushing the 430 mark. So those are the three great highlights that I want to review from last year before we get started on this year. But hats off to the program, what they did last year. And
not to put any pressure on the young ladies, but to equal that just alone this year coming up.
Yeah. How do you follow that up? I mean, that is a great season.
You'll be able to ask them, and they'll tell you.
So right now, girls, y'all are 12-5, 17 games in the season. School hadn't even started, and what a lot of people don't understand, the volleyball season actually started on August 7th with a win over Bandera. So they've you could almost say they're in mid-season form, after 17 games. They've been playing for a while. I think they're anxious to get district started, but before we start district, they have a big tournament starting tomorrow morning. I believe it's 9 a.m. at Smithson Valley. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so wow. And I said the record a while ago, you guys are 12-5, and y'all have got some quality wins so far. And I'll bring up the game, as a matter of fact, from last night. I mean, you took down a 6A school in Brennan 3-0. That's a quality win, and y'all played some quality schools so far. I think the first tournament, the Northside tournament, y'all were in. Y'all beat some 6A schools. Y'all came out a little behind on some of the games also, but those are quality schools that y'all lost to. So I know we have 5 losses, but the losses have all been to quality schools, and most of them have been, if not all of them, have been to 6A schools. So we have a tournament tomorrow. Next week we take on Tivy. And we begin district play, I believe, next Friday against Uvalde. So district is just right around the corner.
The first district is at the Twilight Zone?
Yes.
In Uvalde?
It is in Uvalde. I know we've talked previously how is it a home game? Friday's away game.
This Friday's home, though. Next Friday's home against Uvalde.
Oh, it is? Okay. Because I know the majority of the schedule, Tuesdays are going to be home games and Friday will be away games because last year it was reversed. So it's going to be tough for you guys to try to make football games from what I understand. So, yeah.
Just take care of business on the court.
Okay, so here today we have Cameron Griggs, Hannah Hurtado, and Megan Hahn. All seniors, correct?
Yes, sir.
We'll start with you, Cameron. What is your position?
I'm a right side and a setter.
You're right side hitter and a setter, and you are a fourth-year varsity player. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I like to kind of think of is Cameron as the anchor for the team since she's been around for a while, and she has the most experience under her belt. And you are the defending Medina most valuable player for offense for the district last year. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That's going to be a tough act to follow up, but I know you can do it. You've been there all these 4 years. You've been a tough contender. So we got a lot looking forward to you this coming year. Hannah, you are also a second-team All-District player from last year?
Yes, sir.
What position do you play?
I'm an outside hitter.
You are an outside hitter for the team. And Megan, you have some All-District accolades too. Megan Hahn, you were second team also, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we got some all-district players returning. We got a good core group of senior volleyball players. I know there's more to you guys, and that I think the heart of the team is going to be the seniors this year. They've done a great job so far, and we got a good group of underclassmen. Kyla Solis, junior, Spencer McCool, sophomore, began helping the team quite a bit. Overall, I think we've got an exciting year to look forward to.
I just from watching last year and a few games this year, you got to like what you see so far already. And I'm not wanting to quality wins or quality losses, because a win's a win. It really doesn't matter who you play. You play what's in front of you in the schedule. But the teams that they have been competing with should have them ready to go when district play starts.
And I think that's the point, that this tournament coming up, at Smithson Valley, some of the better teams in the state will be there. Not to mention in the metro area. There's teams coming in from Houston. There's Austin teams. There's some of the better quality teams from the San Antonio area. I think there's some Dallas teams coming in. So this tournament is going to be jam-packed full of talent, and interested to see how we play against some of these teams.
We play the second team in the city. We start off the tournament with the second place team in the city. So
the second-ranked team in the city, I believe that's the O'Connor Panthers. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, it doesn't get any easier in this tournament coming up, but I think it's great for them to get the experience and know what's going to look forward to, especially when you get into postseason play. So, and we're talking to postseason play, expectations for this year, girls. What do you? I mean, your seniors. What expectations do you hold for yourself as being seniors this year on this team?
We need to win our district so we can go to the regional tournament and not face Dripping Springs if we get second place.
Well, and I think that's kind of what happened last year. When you get second in the district, and the way it matches up with a neighboring district, just happened to be Dripping Springs was ranked probably in the top 5 in the state, and to play them so early in the postseason was not advantageous for us. So it was kind of tough. So you kind of looking forward to being a goal is to win district, so you could set yourself up in postseason play to help yourself out with the schedule.
Harlan's going to be the toughest
Yes, sir.
team in the district.
Yeah, and
Yes,
I believe
sir.
Harlan's probably going to be ranked as one of the best teams in the city.
Who do they have all of their players coming back, or do y'all know?
They do have a lot of their players coming back, and last year they had a lot of older girls that, since they transferred over to Harlan, they had to play on the JV team. So now they're up on varsity.
Yeah, and I think a point needs to be made about Harlan is they're truly, I believe, a 6A school who next year will be 6A. They've got the student count to be 6A this year, but since they're a new program, they put us in our classification and district. So nevertheless, they're a tough team, and we still got to beat them. And I know, Megan, you play club volleyball year-round.
Yes, sir.
And you know a lot of these girls.
Yes, sir.
Do you know any of the Harlan girls?
I do. One of my best friends, Amaya, plays for Harlan.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen. I think during these tournaments, sitting with my daughter on some of these games, like I know this girl, I played with this girl, so they know each other and they know how they play, and which is good and bad because they can talk to each other and tell them, this is what this girl does, and of course they're doing the same thing on the other side. So it's been fun watching them. So a lot of expectations. So that's our goal this year is to Cameron, is that right? The goal is to try to take district.
Yes, sir.
Hannah, anything different?
No, just to do more than what the people expect us to do.
I know your game has come out quite a bit watching you lately. You've played really well. Your hitting has gotten a lot stronger. your defense has gotten a lot stronger. So, and that's what they needed. They needed this team needed to be well-rounded, and I've seen it, Maury. I mean, they're a well-rounded team, and they're looking good so far. It's going to be it's going to be an exciting year. What we need to do, though, is we need to educate the rest of this community on volleyball. When I first started watching, I didn't know what was going on. There's actually plays that you guys call. Is that correct?
Yes,
and
there's free ball play.
So can you walk us through? A ball gets served, and a defensive specialist passes it. So what happens after that when it gets hit to a defensive specialist?
The main goal for the defensive specialist is to get the ball as close to the net in the middle. So the setter has the option of our free ball play is the outside hits a 4, which is a faster ball, and then the middle hits a slide approach, and then as the right side hits like a faster back set.
So there's six players on the court. Each one has a specific job, and what was hard for me to begin to understand is the second ball that's hit always gets targeted to the setter. So because you could be sitting there, well, why didn't that girl hit the ball? I mean, she got out of the way, and someone ran across the court to try to get to that ball, and that's the setter. Cameron covers a lot of ground trying to get to the second ball, but that's her job.
Well, my biggest thing just watching is I don't understand the line play, how you have to stay behind a certain line if you're in the back, and how you're in the front. You can't, I don't understand. Once the ball is served, why can't you just go anywhere?
Megan, explain that to Uncle Maury here.
I mean, I don't understand how that works.
Okay, so if you're in the back row for a rotation, you cannot pass the 10-foot line.
There's another line there in
middle.
between the back line and the net.
It's 10-foot line. It's
Right.
10 feet from the net.
Right. And if you're back row, you can't pass that. They call it a back row attack. Now, the libero in the colored shirt.
So I was going to say, how come one of them in the back can go up and set?
Well, she can as long as she stays under the plane of the net and doesn't jump.
So she has to keep her feet on the floor.
Yes.
Is what it comes
Right.
down to.
If you're inside the 10-foot line from the back row, you have to keep your feet planted.
Or she can jump set. She just can't jump over the plane of the net and push it to the other side. It has to stay on our side.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that goes on, and for the average person who's watching these games, it's kind of hard to understand. But once you figure it out, it's a very exciting game, and you'll know you kind of anticipate what's going to happen because you know what they're supposed to do. So
before Coach Griggs came to Medina Valley, I kind of had a hiatus of not really watching much volleyball. First game I went to, we were getting points and not even serving. So that's how long it was.
Well, exactly.
When I quit watching, you had to serve to get a point.
Yeah.
So Cameron, when you get a pass off the serve, you get a pass to you, and you got to set it. It sounds like you have 3 or 4 people saying 4, 4, 5. They want to hit the ball, right?
Usually the back row calls what the hitters. Sometimes back row calls where the strongest hitter is, which is usually the outside.
Okay.
But if it's too far or someone's not ready, they help me out and say outside's ready or outside. Set outside.
Yeah,
so.
There's all kinds of stuff going on, and if you listen to the vocal part of it when they're talking, they're throwing numbers out, positions out on what to do. And Cameron, as a center, the setter, she's like the quarterback on the field. She has to determine what to do with the ball when it comes to her, and it's just fun to watch and how they set the plays up.
I have a question, more a defensive-minded question. So y'all are yelling that, like, telling who's ready and who's not. Are you listening to that on defense to know where to position and where the ball might be going?
I am. I try to listen to everything.
Yeah.
Besides my mom. I try not to let her
because
get into my head.
I would imagine with the ball coming as hard as it does, or sometimes you've got girls at the net trying to block and they'll just kind of poke it over the top. Do you kind of anticipate some of that, or is it more of we're just ready for whatever's coming?
Well, you have to know. Yeah, you have to read the hitter and see what they're doing. So.
And I'm sure you've watched tape and kind of have an idea of what they like to do. Okay.
Watch film.
Okay.
Yeah, or the warm up.
Now, Megan, you've got more into a serving role this year. as in the past, so you're serving the ball a whole lot more. You are actually getting instructions from the coach on where to serve the ball. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Each position has a number, and they give you a number, I believe. They hide the clipboard, Maury, and they give you a number, and they kind of
Usually behind their back.
They're trying to get the server on where they would like to have the ball. Where is the hardest part to serve?
A short serve.
And why is that?
Because sometimes you either serve it too far, a little too much power. Sometimes you don't serve it hard enough, and it goes in the net.
Well, the net, in putting this in golfing terms, Maury, the net is like water. It's like a water hazard.
Right.
I mean, you don't want to leave it short because you're going to put it in the water, and you don't want to leave it too long or it goes out of bounds. So, and it's kind of tough. And I guess what it takes is a little floater to get it just over the net to serve it short. Is that correct?
Yes.
I know
You got to
you-
get it just right.
And you guys learn how to float serve. You'll learn how to jump serve. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff involved in the serving aspect of it, too.
And we in the stands just sit there and say, just get it over the
Yeah,
net.
just get it over.
Just get
Why
it over the
did
net.
she hit it
Why
into the
did-
net?
But that's something,
She's just trying to do her job is what's going
Right.
on.
Okay, now, Coach Griggs signals that into the server or sets it into somebody on the front line?
So we actually have our freshman coach, Coach Perez, and she sits at the bench and she looks for the weakest passer in their serve receive, I would say, or rotation. And then she'll signal us the number or position they're in, and then that's how we know where to serve it to.
So in defense, you don't want to be the one getting served to. When it comes down to
If you're getting
I
it
do.
served to,
they
Serve
think
at
you're
me, please.
they think you're the weakest one if you're getting all the serves served to you, correct? Usually.
Usually. Well, and that's kind of the you try to stay away from the libero. Is that correct? Because you
Yeah.
is typically the best passer on the team.
So it's like chess. It's just like a chess match.
It's
like
exactly
you're trying
what's
to
going
yeah.
on there. And I was saying earlier, Jared, once you understand how the game works, it's very exciting to watch. And we welcome and all you guys out there listening to go check out one of these games. They're very exciting. I'll tell you what, last night's game, the home side was almost full for not even school being in session. It was very loud, and there was a ton of people there. So there's a lot of expectations, and there's a good following, and we ask you and welcome you to be a part of it out there.
I just want to hear a little bit more from each one. What after volleyball? What else do they play? Cameron?
I don't really know. I'm more than likely run track again. I didn't run track last year because I had back problems. But I'm still in between of if I'm going to play basketball or not. So, not softball.
After graduation?
Hopefully I'll be going to play college volleyball. I'm not really sure where I want to go yet, though. So.
Any schools? Any interest from?
My biggest interest right now is Blinn Junior College.
Okay.
To get picked up by someone bigger, hopefully.
Good. Hannah?
I do track after volleyball, and I throw the shot in the discus.
And after graduation?
I'm really iffy on where I want to go to school, where I want to go, but
Where would you like to go?
to Texas Tech.
Megan?
All right, Miss Megan.
Okay. I'll probably do track to stay in shape, but I know after school volleyball is more club volleyball, of course.
You are going to do club volleyball after?
Yes, my
good.
18s year. And I'll be working out a lot. After graduation, I've applied everywhere. Texas, out of state, anywhere. Because I kind of know what I want to do already. I've kind of been accepted to some because my academics are really helping me out right now. But I do want to play college volleyball after, and I've had a few offers, so I guess I'm just working on the decision point of where I want to go and which one will fit me the best.
Great.
Sounds good.
Sounds like y'all have it planned out.
Well, good luck.
You have an idea.
Yeah,
And,
you have an idea. But I'd like to wish y'all good luck in the rest of the season, and hopefully at some point y'all might be back here in around playoff time maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
And have a good season and have a good school year, y'all. And we'll be back in a moment with more Sports for Supper, and we'll have the football team on here in a minute. And you're listening to Sports for Supper, and we'll continue in just a moment.
This is MVBN, the Medina Valley Broadcast Network. Nobody can design, create, or maintain your lawn better than 3D Landscaping and Irrigation. With over 17 years of experience, owner Ray Doyen and his crew take pride in their craftsmanship and service. They're fully insured, offer free estimates and multiple references, so you know you're getting the best. 3D does landscaping, lawn maintenance, irrigation, tree installation, lighting, and more. Whether it's residential or commercial, 3D Landscaping and Irrigation has you covered. Give 3D a call at 830-985-9115 or find us online at threedlandscaping.com.
Double T Outfitters offers deer, dove, turkey, quail, and exotic hunts in Southwest Texas on over 20,000 low-fenced acres. They facilitate professional guide services, lodging, and fantastic meals while providing the best in Southwest hunting. Contact Double T Outfitters to find out details about their current package hunts. Contact owner Brett Ferguson at 210-413-1597 or online at DoubleTHunting.com.
Are you ready for a vacation? Tanya with Travel by Design can help you with all your vacation destination needs. At no cost to you, she can plan all of the details tailored to your unique wants and needs. So all you have to do is enjoy your vacation. Tanya is a certified expert with Disney, Universal Orlando, and California, Sandals, and all cruise lines. Give Tanya a call at 830-931-4834 or visit her Facebook page, Tanya with Travel by Design, for all the latest specials and must-do vacations.
You're watching Medina Valley Sports. This is the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
All right. Welcome back here to Sammy's and Sports for Supper. We're going to start with Coach Mo, and you are the defensive coordinator for the Panthers, correct?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. And Coach Mo, you were with us last year. I know we had you on the show a couple of times. But a little bit different this season. You got a different head coach. Are you doing anything different defensively this season as opposed to last year?
Yes, sir. A whole bunch of different stuff. No, we're doing nothing.
No, that's the right question. That's the right question for the.
That's the right answer for everybody listening.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, we're doing a lot of the same stuff. We're throwing some wrinkles in here and there. Just to, we go by the KISS method. I don't know if you know what KISS, K-I-S-S. Keep it simple, stupid. So we're gonna keep it simple for our boys upcoming, and then when not calling our boys stupid. That's not what I'm saying. No, but yeah, we try to keep it simple the first couple of games, and then when district comes around, we'll throw a wrinkle or two in there just to keep everyone else on their toes. So for the most part, we're keeping it the same, but we are throwing some wrinkles in.
All right. And what do you have coming back as far as underclassmen that were starting last year, and what did you lose to graduation?
Well, we lost maybe about 5 guys, some good players. Cole Modulin comes to mind, Isaac Santos, Dylan Fellinger. We lost quite a few seniors, pretty good seniors, but we got a lot of guys coming back also. We have our 2 middle linebackers coming back, Grant Snyder and Taylor Weir. We have 3 defensive linemen that started for us a few games coming back. Some started for us all season. Trace Ferguson, which is here, Zach Hecker, which is here, and J.J. Marty, he started a few games on the defensive end spot, what we call our Panther position.
Your biggest spots to fill, though, you lost a lot of secondary.
Yes.
Last year, and with the teams that we're going to face, Alamo Heights, Kerrville, Tivy, Bernie Champion, they like to spread out the field.
Yes, sir.
But that's something that you've got a lot of young kids that can fill out the positions. You just need to get them acclimated to the speed, basically, correct?
That's pretty much it. We got a lot of young kids that we're very confident in. Now we just got to have them be confident in themselves now. That's the battle we got coming first couple of scrimmages and the first couple of games of the season. We got to have them be confident in themselves so they can perform the way we know they can perform.
The scrimmage last Friday, I watched it, and I was impressed with the defense. Defense was really well. I think they held their own. I know you had to do a lot of substitutes and stuff. Are you happy with the outcome of the first scrimmage against John Jay?
My biggest philosophy on defense is do not give up the big play. And we gave up a few big plays, and it did not make me happy. You can ask some of these guys here. When I'm not happy, nobody's happy on the defensive side of the ball. So, but for lack of a better term, we gave up the big play. and we can't do that. And that's the main point. We emphasize all week in practice this week is big plays, eliminate them.
Well, Jay did lose their quarterback, but they have 3 receivers coming back
Good
from last year's squad that were good looking, and that that's where the problems came from. You're acclimating a lot of young guys in there, trying to get them used to the speed situation, and John Jay probably has more speed in their receivers than any teams you're going to face this year. So that was a good litmus test for the first scrimmage.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. You're right. It was actually good to get them out there and kind of get their feet wet and make sure that they know that the speed is different from JV or freshman level to the varsity level. It's night and day almost.
And that's the beauty of scrimmage. It gives you a growing opportunity, especially for the new guys he was just talking about that he's got to fill holes with, that we lost some great players from last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got a scrimmage coming up this Friday. Who's that? McCullum, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when your first scrimmage of the season, it's the first time you're getting these guys on the field in a game type situation.
Mm-hmm.
When you go from your first one to your second one, what are kind of your expectations moving from one to the next?
Just improve every play, improve every down, improve every series, improve every quarter. If we can get our guys getting better from the first play of the first scrimmage to the last play of the second scrimmage, we've done our jobs. I feel like we have enough talent to where we fix the little stuff, the big things are going to fall into place. And these boys, good kids, yes sir, no sir type of kids, haven't had any problems with any of our guys, and they'll run through brick walls for us, and that's what we love about being here at Medina Valley. Is great.
Well, if they're not dedicated out there in this heat, then I don't know what is.
Because you're right.
You know, you've got to want to play. To be out there and participating, because it is brutal out there.
It is the worst month of the year.
Well, hats off to you too, Coach Mo, because they won't play unless they want to play for you, and these kids want to play for you. I've heard nothing but good things. I've got an inside track. I won't tell you who it is, but I've got an inside track. The kids love you, and they want to play for you. So hats off to you. You're doing a great job out there.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You got anything else for Coach?
Nope, not at the moment.
And Coach, thank you for joining us here. Good luck to you and the team and your defense throughout the season. And we're going to go ahead and we got some of the defensive players here, correct? That we're going to go after.
Actually, we've got the linemen. I brought 3 backs and 3 linemen. So So maybe we can get them.
We will be talking to you soon. I guarantee it.
Yeah, we hope to have you back here pretty soon.
Problem. Yes, I'd love to come back.
All right, let's pass it down to the right down here, and we'll start that way and come down to the left. Introduce yourself. Tell us what position you play, and tell us what grade you are.
And also, Jared, since we got the defensive line, I want to know their height and weight.
Ooh, okay. Let's hear it. If you're willing to say it, go ahead.
I'm Trace Ferguson. I'm a senior. I play defensive tackle, and I'm 6 foot 270.
Attaboy.
And you're returning from last season.
Yes,
what are some of the – I know you played for Coach Mo last year. The big talk throughout the offseason is you got Coach Crisp now instead of Coach Sosa. What are some of the biggest changes you've seen so far coming into this season?
It's a lot more efficient. We get things done faster. Our workouts are a lot better. We're going to be in a lot better shape. And it's just a well-round run organization. Yeah.
All right. And you said you're a defensive tackle. We watched you play last year. What are some of the things you're looking to improve on this season from last year?
My quickness and pass rush. I got to get my hands going and my feet moving to get around those big boys.
What's your number, Trace?
58.
58.
Any reason for that, or is it just what they gave you?
Just what I've been working on. I got the power. I just need the speed.
Got it, Maury? No?
No, and we've all seen Trace.
Oh, no, for him, yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead.
What do you want to see on the other side? What is your strength? You like the pass rush? You like the run defend?
I like the run game. I'm good at holding my reads and holding my gap. They're not going to run up the middle.
But when you said you need to improve
my pass rush,
your hands and your feet,
for when
that's
they do throw, yes,
coming more towards the pass rush, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, defensive tackle, who is on the outside of you?
It depends. We switch on
JJ, or is it
JJ or Joe Tarvin?
Tarvin?
He's going to be a sophomore this year. So,
his dad had a great career at Medina Valley himself.
did.
So
That goes
if
back
he
to
can
the
fill
tradition, yeah.
if he can fill those shoes,
Yeah.
He
No,
should. He's a pretty good kid.
yes,
He had a decent college career, too.
yeah, he sure did.
No, Joe's a good kid. He works hard. I like him.
Teaching them?
Yes, sir.
Good. That's what you need to do. He's got some big shoes to fill once you guys leave, and let him be a teacher for the next group.
Do the younger guys respect y'all? The seniors that y'all, they'll buy into what y'all are selling them?
Yes, sir. If they're doing something wrong during practice, we can get on them kind of good. Like Coach Mo always says, that we don't have enough coaches, so it helps when we help them.
That's
like,
where the
more
senior
coaches.
leadership comes in.
Yes, sir.
Well, at 6 foot 270, you better be respected.
Yeah, absolutely. After football, what do you play any other sports or?
I'm gonna try baseball this year. Do
Okay.
powerlifting.
All right.
That's right. You did powerlifting last year, is that right?
No, so I
No,
didn't
you
do
didn't
last
do
year. I was hurt last year.
He did powerlifting.
And you're a senior, is that
Yes, sir,
right?
I'll be a senior.
You got any plans for after high school?
See where football takes me. Any offers, and after that, if no offers, then I don't know yet.
Sounds good.
Your size,
Yeah.
they'll come calling.
Yeah.
All right, let's move down the line here. And your name, your position, number.
Spencer Payne. I play center. Number 60, 6'2.5", 275.
Nice.
Ooh. All right, and I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Trace a while ago. Coming into this season, what's your biggest difference that you've seen in the new coaching regime that's taken over here?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing is attitude. Everybody wants to play. They're excited to come out to practice. The coaches are efficient, and we're enjoying it a lot more.
Okay, and also, what is it that you're trying to improve on from last season to this season?
Not anything specifically, just be overall better.
Just overall a better
Yeah.
player. Sounds good.
Spencer, the guards that are on either side of you,
Sir.
who are they?
Gio Viafane and Justin Huntyak.
So a senior and a junior?
Yes.
Okay. So you've got a little bit of experience
Little bit.
there with you. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Good.
Who were besides you last year?
Gio played about half the season starting, so I consider him a returning starter. We lost Yancey Miller, Edward Royer, and let me think. Josh Valenzuela.
Okay.
So we'll be all right.
And are y'all guys, we saw that tight offense that y'all ran last year. Y'all spreading it out a little more
Yes, sir.
this year? You are. So
Yes,
you're
sir.
having to work a little more, having to snap it to the shotgun.
Yes, sir.
Has that changed a lot for you? Is it more intimidating maybe in a way?
Last year we had about 30% out of the shotgun, and now it's about 90%. So I still practice it every day, so I'm comfortable with it. It doesn't really bother me.
Do you like run blocking or pass blocking the best?
I like run blocking. I like dominating defenders.
You can use your height and your speed and your power to
Yes,
move them out of the way.
As a center, did when the offense changed, did your position change much, or was it pretty much the same?
No, it's pretty much the same. We just have different calls and stuff mostly.
Which offense
Oh.
would you prefer? Power game? But what would you rather block? Power game, or would you like to?
I'd rather block power game.
But I mean, that's still part of
Yes.
this spread
Yes, sir.
to make sure that James has some.
Yes, sir.
All he needs is just a little bit
little
of.
bit.
Well, he don't even need a hole. He makes his own, but it helps when you guys open them up like y'all did last year. Makes a big difference.
Yep,
I'm
absolutely.
looking forward to it. I
Yep.
really am. It's something different. It's going to be something new, and it sounds like y'all are buying into what Coach Crisp is trying to implement.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know there's some eyes watching you this year. They started last year.
Yes, sir.
Is that something you're going to pursue after
Yes, sir.
the season?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna play college football after high school.
Any place that you'd rather play more than another, or
I have a few offers. I don't really want to get into all that.
I understand
details,
that.
but
I completely
close to
understand.
home, so somewhere
not
where
too far
people
away.
can go watch.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Question that I have, and because we probably won't have y'all here next week, you have Waco La Vega coming. They won the state championship last year.
Yes,
You
sir.
played them last year up there. Is there some mental, we want to beat them really bad?
Oh yeah, yes, sir. We're ready. We're ready for it.
Well, y'all were ready last year. They just kind of in the second half.
Well, yeah, I was going to say they held their own for the first half.
The speed just kind of,
That's right.
took over. Had a couple of long plays, but all in all, for that first week of the season last year, I left there pleased. Even though it was a loss, I left there thinking, hey, there's something special.
Well, you can't hang your head losing to the eventual state champion. I mean, when you think about it, and you hung with them the whole game,
and
basically.
You knew who they were prior, even though we've never played them or been associated with that team. You didn't have to look far to understand what kind of team they were.
Absolutely.
And they hung with them, and like Maury just said, when you left that game, even though we lost, was it really a loss,
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
So after
go ahead.
Football.
Powerlifting, and then track. I throw shot and disc also.
So in the powerlifting, what exactly is your
like my goal?
Well, what do you do actually in powerlifting? Is it
clean
jerk or what?
No, it's a squat, bench, and deadlift.
You do okay.
And it's for a total. I have the 3 lifts.
I believe we'll be talking to you later on the season about that. This is a little bit earlier.
Mosey's back healthy, so good.
All right. We'll move down the line one more time here. And name, position, height, weight.
I'm Zach Hecker. I played defensive tackle. I'm number 63. I'm 6'4", 225.
You got to like that 6'4" on the end, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Some height. Get your hands up in the air.
Absolutely.
And all right, so, I mean, I've asked them the same question. What's your biggest difference coming to this year with your new coaches?
I've noticed a lot more conditioning this year than last year. Seems like every day we're running. We're going to be a lot better conditioned than we were last year.
When you get in the fourth quarter, you're going to be able to hold your own still and be able to outlast the other team.
Oh, yeah.
Is what it comes down to, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. And what are you specifically trying to improve this season from last year?
Well, last year I played more defensive end, and they moved me down to defensive tackle this year, so I'm working on my run game more.
Okay.
Zach, this was probably the first week of the true heat because you guys are practicing in the afternoon. I know there's a lot of talk going into this week about, man, it's going to be hot, it's going to be hot. Has it been that bad, or is it like, you know what, it's not too bad?
Oh, it's definitely been hot, but
I'm sure the pads don't help in the gear.
It's definitely been hot, but coaches do a good job we get water, and we're not overworked, so we're pretty fine.
So walk us through a day in practice. I mean, does it start with the weight room, or exactly what happens? You get there?
I'll show up early. We'll go for about 30 minutes in the weight room, and then come out and do about an hour and a half of football, actual practice.
So how much of it is our defense against our offense, or are y'all kind of separated until a certain time of when does the offense go against the defense, or did they ever?
Like your two first team offense, first team defense.
That's actually something we're doing a lot more this year. We're doing a lot more varsity against varsity. Last year it was a bunch of varsity against JV, and we didn't really get to see the real game speed. So
that's what I was going to say. So now you're used to playing against the varsity instead of your scout team, I guess, is not your JV anymore. It's more of the varsity players playing head-to-head where the speed and the strength is more comparable to what you're going to face.
Yeah, and it really helps us prepare for actual game scenarios.
But you still got to take it easy on one side or the other because
got to make sure no one gets hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Tempers ever flare every once in a while between the offense and defense?
There was a little bit today. It happens.
You blame it on the heat.
It's nothing.
But that's being competitive, though. I mean, that's just.
Yeah, I mean, especially if it's offense against defense.
You're tired of hitting on your own people. You want to start hitting against an opponent.
Which is
the
good.
The difference is, Maury, when it's two offensive players getting into it or two defensive players, that's not good. But when it's an offense against defense, that's competitive nature right there, and that's good.
Well, I think that's what it was, offense against defense.
Yeah, but it's nothing that's too big. They shake hands afterwards. And
Spencer's kind of saying, no, if it's offensive against defense,
Spencer?
I'm going to take charge because I'm the center. But, you know.
All right, and Zach, I know you play baseball later on in the season. You do anything else other than baseball?
I throw the shot in the disc for track.
What's the distance wise?
About
in the disc or the shot. Who throws further, you or Spencer?
Me and Spencer about the same for shot, and
who gets the flying saucer out there the further?
Spencer does.
Did y'all go any further last year in the shot or the disc after area or regionals, or what is after district?
I think Spencer went a little farther.
Yeah, I made it to area.
With what distance?
143 feet in discus.
And what's the shot?
45 something maybe.
And what do you need to throw this year to get you to the next level? Because the teams are the same this year as last year, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I would say I was and on discus I was probably like maybe 2 feet short of making it to regionals.
Zach?
Oh, I didn't make it past district.
But what to improve? How many feet do you need to improve on?
For shot, probably another 5 feet would get me to the next round.
Now, playing baseball and track is the same time. It kind of goes on at the same time. How do you juggle your schedule? Or do they work with you?
Do you have priorities, Zach?
The two coaches normally work together.
Okay.
So
you have a baseball game on a track meet day. What is Zach going to do?
Well, normally we just go to whichever one is home.
Okay.
So if we have a home baseball game, I'll
that
go
makes
there.
it easy.
And if it's a home track meet, I'll go there.
Well, and especially.
What if they're both away?
We haven't.
I have
yet.
to ask that.
Well, but
we haven't run into that
well,
yet.
especially for him though, with the field events, throwing the disc in the shot. He's a pitcher. I mean, it's a totally different workout. You sure don't want to go to a track meet and throw the disc or the shot and then come back and have to throw.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I could see that.
I mean, I'm not going to put him in that spot either. Ask him if he had a preference of pitching or throwing the shot, because I know I can guarantee you what it's going to be. And if it be to me, it'd be on that hill.
Yeah.
Throwing the.
Yeah, probably baseball.
Miles per hour. What do you plan on? How many? What do you think you need to gain this year? What are you trying to gain this year? How many more miles per hour?
5 would be better. I worked in the summer a lot on baseball, and I got about an extra 5 miles per hour. So
what was your miles per hour last year?
I was around high 70s, low 80s.
So you want to get it up to about 85?
The high 80s would be nice.
Sounds good. Yep.
Yeah,
that makes
would be
the
nice.
change of pace pitch pretty good, huh?
It does. It helps.
He's got a pretty nasty curveball.
Yeah, he does.
Being able to throw a faster fastball helps the off speed too.
A quick note: we're talking 2 different sports. This is going to be the second year where the football district is not the same as the rest of the district.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't like that much either. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. So I mean, we're not competing. Football has its own district, and everything else has another district.
Yep. Basketball, baseball.
And I think track is the same way. Is that correct, Zach?
Well, in volleyball,
I think track is the same as baseball.
Yeah. So it's just football, and that's it. So kind of weird, but that's how it is.
After graduation,
everything's open. Just see what happens. Don't have any plans right now.
Nothing wrong with that.
Want to ask?
You got to get through this first, right?
I want to ask Trace one more question too. Pass it back down to him again. How much do you need to improve on the field events to go further? What?
I didn't really throw much last year because of my shoulder problems, so it's hard to tell. I mean,
you just want to be healthy and be able to throw.
Want to be healthy to be able to throw.
Yeah,
and you are. I mean, this year
I hope. Yeah.
Barring any.
If I don't re-injure myself during football, then I will be doing track and baseball after, and powerlifting.
And powerlifting. Good.
One quick, I want to ask a question to Spencer.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me a little bit about what went on during the summer in this lineman challenge.
Okay, so we got a good group of guys out that wanted to work and wanted to get better and dedicated themselves to the team. And we went out to probably 5 or 6 lineman challenge competitions, and we won.
What do you do?
Okay, so it's the best way I like to describe it is it's a lot of things that you would see at like an NFL combine type deal.
Okay.
Okay, so there's like a bench off for reps and a bunch of team events where you have to carry things and stuff like that. So I mean, to me, it's kind of like a combine type deal.
And y'all did well, right?
Yes, sir. We went to the state lineman challenge at Hardin-Simmons University, and we got second.
And how many are in your group?
There's 5 guys at each time, but we keep about 10 guys, and we just rotate in the best for each event.
So, these guys were working all hard all summer long. I know they did 7-on-7. A lot of these guys did, and they did the lineman challenge. So, I mean, they not only worked all summer. Now they're working hard. They worked all summer to get to this point, and they did some other competition. And I think both groups, I think the 7-on-7 did good, and the linemen had a great year. So they've been working hard. They're ready for the year.
Yep.
Sounds like conditioning won't be a problem.
No, absolutely not. Guys, I'd like to thank you all for joining us this evening. Good luck on the season, and good luck on your senior year. And hopefully we see you back here later on in the season.
Talk playoffs.
Yep,
We'll talk
absolutely.
playoffs
and we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna have a few more football players come on here and join us. You're listening to Sports for Supper, and we'll continue in just a moment.
MVBN.
Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home in Castroville, Texas, has been providing funeral services to families in the Medina Valley and surrounding areas for many generations. Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home is proud to support the broadcast by the Medina Valley Broadcast Network for the athletes and students participating in this event. Go Panthers! Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home, Castroville, Texas. You may view obituaries at Tondre, Tondre-Gwynn, Guinn.com, or visit the Facebook page of Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home to view funeral notices. Here at Medina Valley Broadcast Network, we love all sports. We currently broadcast football, volleyball, basketball, softball, and baseball. We not only serve Medina Valley, we also can broadcast other schools in the area in multiple sports. If your business is interested in having us broadcast a single game or a season, and you want to be part of the action, contact Jeff Stivers at 830-931-4504 or email him at jeff@mvbn.net.
Headed out to the game? Then make a stop at your local Valley Mart convenience store. With 12 area locations, Valley Mart is always right around the corner. Fuel yourself and your vehicle with quality branded gas and diesel, snacks, and fountain drinks. Always convenient, well lit with clean restrooms. Valley Mart, family owned and operated since 1984, and a proud supporter of Medina Valley athletics and area youth sports for over 30 years.
You're watching Medina Valley Sports. This is the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
All right, welcome back here to Sammy's Restaurant, and we're on to a little bit more here, and I'd like to tell you that this is brought to you by Brenda Stein Photography. Here, a title sponsor here for Sports for Supper this year. First broadcast out of 10 that we're going to be doing, and we're joined here by 3 more of the players. And we're going to start down on the end down here, and if you'll tell us your name, your number, your class. Dwayne wants to hear your size, height, and weight.
He's a dad.
Oh, he doesn't need it. He doesn't. He just wants it for the lineman. Okay, my bad.
I want to scare whoever's out there listening on the opposing team.
I've got you. I got you. But let's start down there.
If you want to impose the other teams, he needs to tell them how big he is. They're trying to tackle him.
All right, I'm James Gibson, the number 45. I play running back, and I'm 6 foot and about 230.
Yeah, you are.
And, you know, you're returning from last year. We watched you run a lot, and we were privileged to get to watch that.
Thank you.
But what I asked all these guys the question a while ago, and I'm going to ask all of y'all the same thing. What is some of the biggest things that you've seen in the coaching change from last year to this year?
I feel like we're a lot more efficient. He's focused more on getting everybody their reps, and, you know, we're just always have that focus of the next man up because you never know when somebody could go down from injury or just somebody has a bad play or not having a good game, and you have to be that guy to step up. So it's a lot more focus on getting everybody enough reps and just circling around and make sure you know what you're doing on the field.
Now, I know that the offense has changed a bit since last year and the year before when you were running in it. How have you adjusted to that, being a running back, being your number one running back in the system? How has it changed for you having to run in a new style?
Well, it's not like that. Get down in the dirt, we're coming right at you. We're still going to come out, hit, be a physical team. It's just more of spreading out. We have more weapons. We can utilize more weapons now, so you can't just key on 1 or 2 guys. You have to actually play some real defense and get into real formations and spread out and have your guys out there ready to cover every single person because our whole offense has weapons.
Right, and hopefully that opens up a little more hole for you to be able to get some speed and get downfield rolling. Because we've seen once he gets moving, it's hard to bring him down.
So you're having to learn a little bit more of the pass blocking scheme? Or
Yeah, it's a lot more. Well, it's not really changed from last year because we did run a little bit of shotgun stuff, so it's still mainly the same thing. But yeah, I have to learn more. Pass blocking is more of a focus on it now.
instead of starting from 3 yards from the line of scrimmage, you'll be starting from a little further.
Yeah, right next to the quarterback, Charlie.
But you are sometimes going to line up in the heavy package.
Yes, sir. We do have a lot more things.
Where would you rather start from?
I like to get down in the head in the dirt and go right at you.
You like the 3-yard cloud of dust?
I like that.
That's what I figured.
We watched you run last year, James. It was all power running. I mean, it was just put your head down, and whoever's in your way, I feel sorry for them. That changed it all? Any finesse running, or are you still going to put your head down and let them have it?
I mean, this year we're still going to come right at you. It doesn't matter to me. I have a great group of guys that are blocking for me, and if you end up slipping out of that block, be ready for a
So
ride.
the thing about it is the poor guys on defense, he's not going to have a 3-yard head start on him. He's going to have about a 6 or 7 yard.
So I got to ask you this. So when you got a head of steam going and you see a linebacker or a safety or someone coming up to try to tackle you, are you trying to make them miss you, or you just want to run them over?
I'll always like to put my head down and give them a good pop, but since we do our spreading out now, it's more of a way to kind of have a react to see if he wants to go low or make a certain way to tackle you. You got to make a move on him to get a little bit more yardage. But my first thought is always put my head down and go over.
Just run over him. I'm sure that makes you feel pretty good knowing you just run over whoever tries to
And I
tackle
don't know
you.
if you can answer this or not, but are we going to see some 45 out of the backfield in the screen or a
In
little
the passing
screen pass
game a
and
little
get you
bit?
out and open a little
We got
bit,
a
or-
little something set up for this year, but it's a lot more weapons, so it won't be just key 45. It's going to be key Wesley Pardo, key Mason Doing, key Charlie Morris. It's going to be a lot more weapons this year just for us to have. So it's going to open a lot of things up for me and for the other guys out
So
there.
you feel like spreading out the offense like it's going to be, that opens more
For everybody. Now you can't just put 10 guys in the box and expect run. You gotta put people out in coverage too, because we got weapons that can catch passes and make a play off of that. We got guys that we can put into the backfield and make a play from back there. So it's a lot more of keying these other guys, not just one guy.
James, any talk of you going to the other side of the football and playing maybe a little bit of defense?
There's been a little bit of talk of that, but we're just focused on getting the job done with the guys we
There's
have.
a coach smiling in the back of the room.
I'm
We
sure he'd
talked
love
him
to have you,
earlier,
too.
but, just saying, when you said something about defense, somebody was smiling in the back, but
Well, and from the way it sounds, you're not going to be carrying the ball 35 times a game like you were last year, I would imagine.
Oh, I don't know about that.
If he has anything to say about it, he's going to.
Well, like I said, just because we changed our formation doesn't mean our mindset has changed. I mean, we're going to get the ball to whoever's performing that night, so that's what we're focused on doing.
Whatever's
But
on, whatever
we can
works.
still run it out of the backfield 50 times a game if we wanted to with all of our guys. We can run the ball the whole game, and I feel like we still could be successful. We could pass it the whole game and be successful. So it's a lot more of a you
Awesome.
can't just assume run.
Right.
You gotta play, pass, and run.
Good job, James.
after football, I know you play basketball. What else?
I mean, I did some of the track workouts, just to practice with the track guys, work on the speed. I did a lot more speed training because I guess I did hear about this offense change, so might need a little bit more speed on me. So I did do some more running. I was the manager for baseball, but I didn't work out too well for too long.
Fun with it though.
You're still gonna be controlling the backboards though in basketball,
Yes,
correct?
sir. I will be playing this year. Yes, sir.
Good.
I was told to ask you about your coaching career in the future because I heard that you were a coach for the Powder Puff game.
I'll tell you what all three of these guys were, and I was going to save it to last, but was it a learning opportunity?
Yes, sir.
First of all, let's let everyone know the seniors won.
Yes, sir.
And it was a heck of a game. Sat there and watched it on, and I'll be the first to say, I don't know, maybe I wasn't too excited about it, but by the time I left, it was a pretty good game, and y'all made it exciting. Y'all put a lot of effort into it, and I know while we're on the end, Garrison called the game for the broadcast network and did a great job. But so I guess back to the question, was it a learning experience to see what that side of the ball is as far as coaching?
Yeah, I think that actually did kind of open my eyes a little bit to see what our coaches go through. Maybe just make sure everybody's doing the right thing and doing in the right spot, make sure their plays are right steps. It did open my eyes up. I mean, I had the other football guys with me, and they could see that too. And it was just fun being out there, all that energy,
How many times did you think, why can't you just do this right? You think, that's the same thing I got in trouble for
That's
today
what
in
the
practice.
coach
The
tells
same
me.
thing that I got
So
yelled at.
Should have thrown the headset once or twice.
Well, we were.
I don't know if I could count how many times you laid into the referees though.
All
these guys.
I can see it knocks out. By the second quarter, my voice was done for. We were
now
just
you know
sitting
what
there.
it's like.
We were screaming our butts off that day.
Now you know what it's like. But it's a lot of fun. I know the girls appreciated you guys coaching them. They had fun with y'all, and hopefully y'all can keep doing that. And I hear there maybe works in another game coming up. So we'll see what happens with that later on.
Absolutely.
You got any after high school plans?
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. I plan on hopefully playing football in college too for probably the next 4 years, and then I was thinking about lately I was thinking about going in for physical education, learning in that, and then becoming a coach after I.
That's awesome.
Graduate from college.
Sounds good. And James, thanks for joining us here, and we'll pass the microphone down to the next guy. Same thing, name, number, position.
We doing height and weight?
If you want, that's up to you.
I'm Charlie Marsh. I'm number 9. I am a quarterback, and I am 6 foot 175.
Attaboy.
There you go. And
hey, he can see over the line of scrimmage. There you go.
And he also's got
a pretty good arm.
Yeah,
too.
he's actually
absolutely.
got a cannon for an arm.
Now, we'll start with the same question. What's the biggest difference between last year and this year with what you've seen coaching-wise?
Our workouts have changed a little bit. They're a little more up-tempo. We get a little more out of them, I would say. I know at practice it's a lot more up-tempo, efficient, like all these guys have said. We get a lot of stuff done in a little amount of time. Not a lot of standing around. I felt like on offense last year there was a lot of standing around, even some on defense, so that's changed a little bit.
So you're getting a little more reps in, getting able to get in there and do something.
Yes, sir.
And quarterback-wise, I know you're running out of a spread this year. What is your favorite thing? Do you like to throw the ball? Are you okay tucking it and running? Are we going to see some of that this year?
If I'm being
if
I'm being completely honest, I like to tuck it and run a little bit more. I like to go put my head down like this guy to my left does a lot. I like taking a little pop, and getting that extra yardage.
And when you're going through, especially in a spread like this now, you've got 4 or 5 options to throw to. Are you keying on one guy? Are you going through a progression like when y'all call plays, or is it automatically like we're going to this guy, or are you just looking at what the defense is giving you and deciding yourself?
I'll look at the defense and I'll pick a matchup. I do like looking at matchups. Usually one side I like picking the better matchups for both my guys, and I'll play that side.
Sounds good.
Some plays we do have progressions.
Because the reason, and we've seen this kind of in the past, and it kind of was one of the things that last year, in between plays and stuff, we'd sit there and, it seemed like a few times last year it was predetermined already whether a receiver was covered or not. We're just going to,
Yes, sir.
throw it up, and, that's why we always said, God, your progressions, you got to read through them. That's something that as a quarterback you have to learn as it goes along, and the good thing I heard already is you're looking already across at the line of scrimmage, seeing, okay, I got press coverage here on the right. I got the linebacker or the Mike linebacker off of my slot man. I can hit him quick, or I can. Is that something that you're going to have the opportunity to change at the line of scrimmage? Are you going to be able to change a little bit of stuff, or is it what comes in is what you're going to go with?
No, I think Coach Crisp and the offensive coaches will definitely give me the flexibility to change a play at the line, but usually the play we bring in is pretty good because we've got a lot of weapons, like James said, and we can play both sides. So if there's a coverage over here that we don't like for that play, let's check the other side and see what we're working with over here.
Good. Like that.
And Charlie, I know the last couple of years, you've been under center the last couple of years, and you've been switching out. Your name's been thrown out there to be the quarterback, and since your sophomore year, is it a relief to finally say, look, I'm the quarterback?
Yes, sir. 100%.
That's got to feel good, right?
100%. Yes, sir.
You feel comfortable with it. This is your team. So you feel good about that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, glad
100%.
to hear it. This is your team, and let's see what happens.
I got to ask you, you're wearing a Santa Barbara Gaucho shirt there. Is there a reason for that?
My family and I took a family vacation to California this past summer.
You recognize that too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
We stayed in Santa Barbara a couple days, and we visited the campus, and I thought it was a cool shirt because of the Gaucho here on the front, so we bought it.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
So, Charlie, are you taking any reps on defense this year? I know you were safety last year.
There's been a little rumor.
Would you like that?
I would love it.
Great.
Absolutely. There's been a little rumor I'll spot play, but I haven't taken any reps on defense yet.
There's always a risk though
Yes, sir.
when you're the starting quarterback of.
And that's a big
It's always
decision
that
by coach.
hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
If something happens and it's like, oh, this coach, but
That's a tough decision by a coach.
you go back and the next young man we're going to introduce is Dawson Grove, and you go back to when you played and when his dad played. There was no offense. There was no defense.
That's right.
You basically only had 25 players to play both ways, so you never left the field. That's something that you have as a luxury, but that's something that if it's instilled in you that you want to play both ways, and you can't.
My question is, since you've played both sides of the ball, would you rather throw a touchdown pass to win the game, or would you rather just knock the crud out of somebody?
How about throw a touchdown pass, or how about intercept a pass and go for a touchdown?
Guys, this is the easiest question y'all have asked me all night. I would rather throw a touchdown pass to win the game.
There you go.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. And, okay, any other sports?
I might mess with a little basketball. I might become a basketball player for my senior year, and then I play baseball as well.
Okay. And after high school, any plans?
I plan on going to college somewhere.
Might be a gaucho.
Yeah, maybe. That's why I asked that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing something in the medical area. I'm interested in that, and we'll see where it goes.
I heard you two might open a practice up later on.
We've had a conversation.
That's good. Good. Good luck to you, Charlie. I know you play a lot of sports, and I'm sure one of them the card for you down the road. So good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And good luck this season, and we'll move it on down. Same routine.
I'm Dawson Grove. I'm number 1. I play free safety, and I'm 5'10", 170.
And free safety, that can be a fun position to play. I would imagine, because you just get to fly around and hit some people, right?
Yes, sir.
Ball hawk.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So same question as those guys. What's the biggest difference you've seen coming into this season?
Yeah, like everyone said, it's a lot more efficient. There's rarely times when anyone's standing around. There's always work being done between everyone.
And I've noticed all of these guys have mentioned the conditioning seems to be better this season as opposed to last year. You agree with that?
Oh, yes. We've been running a lot more. It's hard getting used to the heat, but with running so much, it's pretty easy now.
And coming into this season, what are the biggest improvements you're trying to make coming into this season?
Well, hopefully get a lot more turnovers this year because, personally, I didn't get many last year, so I hope that I get a lot more. But as a team, I hope a lot more turnovers.
Yep, great.
New position this year, correct?
Yes, sir.
So
Dawson, go ahead.
You're basically, are you going to be calling the coverage in
Yes,
the
the cover-
secondary?
yes.
Is that something that's coming from the linebacker?
No. The secondary coach will relay that to me, and I'll tell the secondary.
And that's something that if you see something happening other than what they call, you can.
Yes, sir.
You can change it.
Yes, sir.
And
who is? Are y'all running a 2 safety set, or
Yeah.
are you running an extra linebacker and 3 backs?
Yeah.
What is the?
That kind of piggybacks what I was going to ask more. Explain to me the secondary because it changes sometimes, doesn't it? And
Yes.
and what are the positions? And explain it to me.
That's what I was
So
going to say. Yeah.
most of the time in twins we'll run 33, which is a single high safety and deep thirds, and in trips we'll go to 44, which is 2 high and 4 deep, of course.
And the
Don't give away your secrets. Your coach is joking over there.
That means the coverage. When you say 2 deep, that means you're deep.
Yes.
And there's another safety next to you.
Yes, there is. Yes.
And what are the names of the secondary? We won't tell you what coverages you're running, but so we're free safety, a rover.
We have a bandit, which is like a hybrid linebacker safety.
Okay, that's the one that I was confused with. So there's a hybrid. Okay, linebacker.
Yeah.
Dwayne, when you played with no helmets, there was
They were
just
leather.
inside, outside, middle linebacker,
Yeah.
and 2 cornerbacks and a free safety.
We
Now
had
there's a Mike, there's a bandit, there's
We had leather helmets, Maury.
and no face mask.
No face mask. You can tell by my nose.
For the people at home, describe the difference between a free safety and a strong safety.
Oh, well, we don't really have a
Yeah,
strong
I
safety,
don't.
so
Okay.
we
Well,
don't.
that's the rover. I think
Yeah.
the rovers is
Yeah, okay,
that.
yeah.
And the rover typically go to the strong side?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yeah. The white side of the
So
field.
then the bandit is your bigger version of a defensive back that's also can play. That
Yes.
also plays linebacker.
Yes.
That's where you played last year.
I played
Charlie,
whatever.
correct?
I played the Bandit
You
last year.
played. Oh, okay. But I
Yes.
thought
It's like a
every
hybrid
once in a while
player.
y'all
Yes.
switched a little bit.
Yeah.
The main difference this year with him is I think he's going to have more coverage responsibilities. When you play
A lot
Rover and
more, yeah.
Bandit, you're in the box and you got big run responsibilities.
Run is your first responsibility
Yes,
in the Bandit situation, Bandit position.
And for you personally, when you see the offense come out and, would you rather go up and stop the run, or would you rather have someone throw a pass and try to pick one off or hit a receiver hard and jar the ball loose? What's
Well,
your
personally, I really like to hit, but with my new position, I kind of have to. I'm more run or pass responsibility, so I gotta stay back.
I tell you what,
You're in the position to where Coach Mo can get really aggravated at you if you give up the big play because
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
the last
Yeah.
man standing.
Yeah, I'll get the.
You'll get the brunt
end
of
of that. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. That's not. I mean, it's a tough spot.
Yeah, it is a tough spot. That's a tough position. Everyone thinks they just hang out there and just go to the ball, as far as being free safety, and it's not like that anymore.
Now you got 6 fire ants running through the secondary.
Yeah, and none of them are slow.
No.
Those are crazy ants, not fire ants.
And you play other sports?
I'll play track or play track. Do
Run.
track.
what do you do in track?
I do triple jump, long jump, and the 4x1.
Okay. Any plans after high school?
Hopefully some in the engineering field. Something.
Okay.
Like that. Hopefully.
Triple jump, high jump.
Triple jump and long jump.
Triple jump. long
Actually,
jump.
you did quite well on the triple jump
Yeah, I
last
was
year,
gonna
didn't you?
say.
How far did you get?
My PR is a 41.4, and my PR for long jump is 22.5.5, I think.
And you qualified for regional?
For the 4x1, yes.
Yes. Okay.
So what was y'all 4x1 time?
I don't remember.
What was your split?
Oh, probably like 12 something, maybe 12 or something.
That's laying them down
Well,
and putting them.
And he'll shave that this year, I'm sure.
Absolutely, especially with as hard as they're working now. They ain't gonna have no body fat on them anymore once this off season's over with.
We need to get your dad in here because we skipped the generation. We had your grandpa last year.
Oh,
so
yeah.
At some point, maybe we can get your dad in here and talk to him about the state championship game we got coming up. Or coming up for the previous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, hopefully
coming
up.
up. That too. We got one coming up.
So school-wise, where do you engineer in which school?
Hopefully A&M.
A&M?
Yeah.
I want to
Good
ask all of
choice.
y'all this. I asked them that earlier. You've got a team in Waco La Vega coming that you played last season. They won the state championship. They're ranked very high in the state again. What's your mentality going into that? Is there a little bit that, because they're the state championship, like we need to beat them? Is it heightened because of that? Like y'all think about that?
Yeah. Well, if we do well against them, it's going to definitely give us a good impression on our district. So hopefully we do really well.
You can bet one thing: the stadium will be full.
Oh, yeah.
On
Oh,
the
sure.
Medina Valley
Oh, yeah.
side, guaranteed.
Yep.
Be no doubt about
And
that.
yep, and that's a game we're looking forward to. And it's the first game of the season, but it's one of those you circle on there because it's like, well, they're the defending state championship in their class. That's always a pretty fun thing. They have a lot of speed, probably the fastest team you're going to see all year. So I would imagine that's a pretty good test to see where you're standing after a game.
Yeah. We hope to see all y'all
Yep.
too, back over here, hopefully for playoffs.
Yeah,
Well, for
absolutely.
sure, for
I'd like
playoffs.
to thank you all for joining us here this evening, and good luck in the season, good luck in the school year, and hopefully we'll see y'all again later in the season.
Thank y'all.
And we're going to take a break, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit about just some local sports, what we think about the season coming up, and a little bit of Maury wants to do some fantasy later on, and so we'll be back in a little bit. You're listening to Sports for Supper, and we'll continue in a moment.
This is MVBN, the Medina Valley Broadcast Network. This is MVBN, the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries. This includes hose reels, big guns, pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine well pumps, booster pumps, motors, valves, and an inventory of much more. Stop by one of their locations in Hondo and Pearsall, or give them a call at 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment, bringing water to you.
Medina Electric Cooperative was built by this community 80 years ago. And for 80 years, we've delivered safe, reliable, and affordable energy. We're proud to be a part of this community and to serve beyond the power lines. You can find us supporting your kids' Little League, sponsoring school events, hosting safety presentations, and so much more. We're honored to belong to this community. Keep up with Medina Electric.
Nobody can design, create, or maintain your lawn better than 3D Landscaping and Irrigation. With over 17 years of experience, owner Ray Doyen and his crew take pride in their craftsmanship and service. They're fully insured, offer free estimates, and multiple references, so you know you're getting the best. 3D does landscaping, lawn maintenance, irrigation, tree installation, lighting, and more. Whether it's residential or commercial, 3D Landscaping and Irrigation has you covered. Give 3D a call at 830-985-9115 or find us online at threedlandscaping.com.
You're watching Medina Valley Sports. This is the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
Welcome back here to Sports for Supper, first broadcast of the season here, and we're back to talk a little bit about the upcoming season. We just talked to the volleyball players and then some of the football players, and really the biggest thing I took from that is that they're all saying that their conditioning is a lot better than last season coming into this one, and that they all like the new coaching regime, and sounds like they're ready for a good season.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jared, the weight program looks like it's done wonders. Those guys are bulked up and they're ready to play.
Well, a part of that, Dwayne, is they actually have been lifting weights for the last 4 years.
Yes, they have. Yeah.
And when they changed, staffs here about 4 years ago, they actually went into a weight program. So that's been huge for all of them. And yeah, you can definitely tell in these linemen. And, you talk about the conditioning, Jared. There's different types of conditioning, and they went after it last year. I mean, it was all in the trenches kind of conditioning. It was get your big muscle groups ready to go. This year, it's more, hey, these fresh air boys, they're going to be doing a lot of running. They're going to be out in space, and they're going to have to run, and they're going to have to block, and they're going to have to run pass routes, and there's going to be there's a different type of mentality here. Yes, I interviewed Coach Crisp. I will be your beat writer for the Castroville Anvil this year for the football games, and I interviewed Coach Crisp, and he said, some things have changed and some things have not changed, and one thing that isn't is they still want to control the clock. They want to control the clock, they want to control the ball, and they want to move the ball up and down the field and keep the other team's offense off the field, which it's the same offense that,
just a different look.
It's just a different look. Exactly right. So looking forward to seeing what the Panthers can do. And with the volleyball, the thing that Coach Griggs has got going over there is just that more girls are playing, more girls are excited about volleyball. They're doing well, and I think that just breeds success.
Yeah, and the district they play in is pretty tough. Harlan is a good opponent.
Absolutely.
And I know I listened to Dwayne do that broadcast last year when they went to 5 sets with them and lost at the very end. There's some exciting games there, and it's exciting to get into. And if you haven't gone out to check out a volleyball game, I urge you to go check one out.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be a lot of fun this year, and this is going to be one of the teams to watch. Watch them this year. That they have the potential to go deep into the playoffs, and they got the potential to be vying for the district championship. So, that's what we're trying to do, educate the listeners out there a little bit about the game so they can get excited with the rest of us.
Well, and if you could put a temperature on the volleyball and the football team, I'd say it's really high because they both seemed really excited about the way the season started out so far.
Absolutely.
And the direction that it's headed. And, everything that I've heard is a plus. They're ready to play.
For the fall sports, there's a buzz right now. There's definitely a buzz, football, baseball. However, the bar is set high. There's pressure on these kids. There's pressure on the coaches. The bar is set high. You go to the playoffs, and we talked about tradition, and in this community, you want more.
Lots of times last year, Dwayne, we talked about, Maury and I talked about a lot last year doing softball games. The feeling and the atmosphere in our community has been raised over the last 3
back
years.
to where it used to be.
It's
getting
getting
there.
there. I absolutely agree. I think that the community gets excited. You can tell tonight we had actually a Sports Boosters meeting, and one of our Booster Club members was there and came over here later, and he said that there was a lot of people there at the Booster Club meeting, and so people are getting into Panther spirit again, and it's great for the whole community, and the winning breeds success.
Well, in the success that they've had over the last few years, it's one of those things where, okay, they had success, but everyone's expecting them to improve upon that the next season, and where
That's
can they
the
go
tough
from
part.
here? Yeah,
That's the tough part.
It's very tough, but it's one of those expectations of what can you do now? Where can you go from here?
And it starts with the coaching.
Yep.
It starts with the coaching because the coaches have to sell the players to get excited into the season. Once they start winning, obviously the community gets involved in. And I mean, and it's just like everything else. You win, and they will come. So,
Yep.
but it all starts with the coaches. And one of the things I saw with this new coaching regime, or whatever we want to call it, I went to the parents' meeting this year, and Coach Chris went up there and he did his little speech. This is what we're doing. This is me. This is my coaching staff. And we had some turnover last year. That's why I'm the head coach. He said basically, and. What he was getting at is, well, I lost my train of thought all of a sudden, but he was talking about the coaches that stayed were the good coaches.
Well, I think they're all you know.
But what he was saying, and there was a chuckle in the audience. Thought it was
Yeah.
a joke, and he was dead serious. He was saying the coaches that stayed are the good coaches,
Well,
and I'm all behind that.
I think a lot of what he meant by that was probably that some of the coaches that stayed were guys that are really good with the kids.
Yeah,
and you take Mo and you take his brother.
Absolutely.
And you take some of those guys that Coach Sosa brought in, and you take. I really can't say there were any left over from the last regime because I think the last one that was left over left this year. So we're back to the point where the guys that there's a lot of guys that have been here for a long time.
Yep.
And there's the new crew that Coach Sosa brought in that stayed, and now we've got another new crew, and I think it's a good mixture and a good blend of coaches. And one thing I've always said about coaching is there's a lot to be said about the X's and O's, but there's a lot more to be said about the relationships that coaches build with the kids.
Well, that's the thing, is that a lot of people they measure how good a coach is on wins and losses instead of measuring do they get the best out of their players.
Yeah, and the same thing's happening on the volleyball side. I mean, Coach Griggs is still there, but her supporting cast for the JV and freshmen are brand new also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
and,
true.
and it's good to have young coaches come in because they're excited. They want to win. They want to coach.
They bring a little different kind of energy.
Yep, absolutely. You guys want to take a quick break and come back and start something new here?
Well,
Maury,
yeah.
want to talk about some I know you've got a draft tomorrow, I think.
Ooh,
right?
But
fantasy.
I can't let Dwayne know any of my
No, we are going to talk
All
fantasy.
Brett, he's sitting here.
And we want to. I want to touch real quick when we come back about our community corner. We didn't lose
Okay.
it, but we're going to do it again, and we'll talk a little bit about that also.
And we will have 10 shows this year.
Yeah.
As last year we had only 8, but we're going to have 10 shows, and the only week we're going to be taking off is September 4th. When we have an open week. Football has an open week that week, so we figured that was a good
No,
time.
that's when no, that's when they're playing Bernie on a Thursday. The open week is in October.
Right. That's the week Jared will be on his honeymoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not true. But we will manage without Jared.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, but I mean that's the bye week.
The open
and then,
week you'll be on your honeymoon.
Yeah, the open week. The open week,
Yeah.
and then the September 4th is because we've got the game at Bernie. It's on
On
a
a Thursday night.
and
That's
so
right.
JV and freshmen
That's
are going
right.
to play Wednesday, so we're not going
True.
to do the show.
Yep, you're right.
And so we'll take a quick break and come back. You're listening to Sports for Supper, and we'll continue in just a moment.
This is MVBN, the Medina Valley
How many commercials
Broadcast
you got?
Network.
I got a minute 46.
Okay.
Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries.
Give us
This
another
includes
picture.
not
forever.
pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine
Yeah, your
well
cousins
pumps,
are
booster
Texas.
pumps,
What did
motors,
he- I didn't read it. What
and
did
an
he say? I still
inventory
owe
of
him a
much
Sammy's
more.
gift
Stop by one of their
certificate for naming the
locations
show
in
last
Hondo and Pearsall, or give them a call 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment,
Did he play
bringing
in
water
the-
to you.
Medina Electric Cooperative was built by this community
Oh, him
80
and Ryan
years
Butt
ago.
Buddies.
And for 80 years, we've delivered safe, reliable,
Well, I'm a
and
third if
affordable
anybody's
energy.
looking for
We're
somebody.
proud to be a part of this community and to serve beyond the power lines. You can find us supporting your kids' Little League, sponsoring school events, hosting safety presentations, and so
right.
much more.
It's because
We're
we play on
honored to
Thursday.
belong to this
That's why we're not
community.
doing this show.
Keep up with Medina Electric.
Sub-varsities play. They play on Wednesday, yeah.
Until it's got, you know,
Nobody can design, create, or maintain your lawn better than 3D Landscaping and Irrigation. With over 17 years of experience, owner Ray Doyen and his crew take pride in their craftsmanship and service. They're fully insured, offer free estimates and multiple references, so you know you're getting the best. 3D does landscaping, lawn maintenance, irrigation, tree installations, lighting, and more. Whether it's residential or commercial, 3D Landscaping and Irrigation has you covered. Give 3D a call at 830-95-9115 or find us online at threedlandscaping.com.
You're watching Medina Valley Sports. This is
Where are
the
we at
Medina
there, G?
Valley Broadcast Network.
Oh, you're gonna have to bring us on.
You're going to have to turn this up.
Welcome back to Sports for Supper at Sammy, sponsored by Brenda Stein Photography and Maury Stein, along with Jared Lucky and Dwayne Garza.
And I'll tell you, Maury, Brenda Stein, that's one of the local photographers here that's all over the place, does a great job. See her at all the functions. She actually even travels to away games and takes pictures. Does a great job.
She travels. She has done the photos for the baseball and basketball, football. If you look in the gym, the volleyball banner that's there that has all the girls, she's responsible for those pictures. So, you know, been in business. She's graduated from Medina Valley, lived here all of her life. So
glad to have her as a
glad to
supporter.
have her as one of the title sponsors. and
Absolutely.
She is the title sponsor.
on board with the Medina Valley Broadcast Network. And guys, so far I think it's been a pretty good night. The girls weren't shy, the boys weren't shy. We got a lot of good news out of Coach Mo, which he's always one of my favorite interviewers because he's never lost for words, and he just tells you exactly, you know, what it is. When he told you what KISS stands for, he really meant it. And you know what, guys? That's not a bad philosophy to have, you know. Do your best and get out there and show that you can handle the pressure.
That's absolutely, especially when you have the talent. That's exactly how you want to keep it simple and let them do their job.
Yeah, don't overthink it. Just keep it simple, make the plays, and move on to the next play.
Speaking of next play,
Let's go into the fantasy football segment, sponsored by nobody. If somebody wants to sponsor fantasy football, but we will go into fantasy football. Maury, tell us a little bit about your fantasy.
hold on, let me get my pen and paper out.
Fantasy selections this year.
You have a big draft tomorrow night, right, Maury?
Yes, I do.
That he does not want to talk about with you.
We got to pry it. Yeah.
With Dwayne Garza sitting next to me.
Well, no, and it's not me. There's a
one
lot
of
of
our
fans out
sponsors,
there. There's a
Brett
lot of
Ferguson.
fans. A lot of our fans out there.
Oh, he's got to play the fan card there. He's got his pry bar out.
They need insight because they tune in.
What do they need insight on,
They tune
Dwayne?
in to hear the Swami.
You know what? Hey, let me tell you the pick of the year right now. Ezekiel Elliott.
I made the mistake last year, Le'Veon Bell, and my first overall pick.
They're living the dream, 0-16.
Maury,
Yeah.
so sleepers, Maury.
Sleepers.
Sleepers.
Tell me who are the young guys coming up from college that you need to have on your team.
See y'all.
Damian Harris, which was New England's top running back they picked this year. And New England don't pick a running back that early in the draft if he is not going to see any action. So he would be one in the running back side. Kyler Murray, quarterback.
Really? For Phoenix?
Would be one, or Arizona.
Lots of stats there.
Lots of stats. Deebo Samuel, wide receiver for San Francisco. Metcalf, young stud out of Mississippi that hopefully Russell Wilson will have throwing for him. Another, the second-year guys are the ones that I'm really excited about. I am really in love with Christian Kirk, who is probably going to be Kyler Murray's number one wide receiver, and that's a young man that everybody should be familiar with coming out of Texas A&M. Really good speed.
Didn't Kyler Murray throw to him at one point in his college career?
Yes.
No.
I mean,
at Texas A&M.
At A&M. QT is another one.
There's your Texas Tech.
Your Texas Tech guy, and he is going to be healthy. He had a little ankle injury, but I expect him to be one of the mainstays for the Texans. And as you know, Deshaun Watson is healthy this year. Deontay Foreman left. Duke Johnson, I believe, is a good pick.
A lot of names are traded teams.
A lot of new names, new teams. Antonio Brown, is probably one of the biggest ones.
Okay,
him and Le'Veon Bell that
I'm
traded teams.
I'm Brett Ferguson, right? I'm sitting in my draft, and I draw number one pick. I need points. Who is my number one pick?
Well, regardless, I think if it's PPR or non-PPR, either Saquon Barkley, or if it's PPR, I'm going with Christian McCaffrey myself, just because of the volume of passes that he catches.
Would it be a bad choice to pick a quarterback as your number one pick this year?
There's many quarterbacks.
I would never take a quarterback in the first round.
Maury is known for taking tight ends in the first round.
Because you can't, I don't think there's that big of a difference between, they say the top tier quarterbacks are Patrick Mahomes.
Can't go wrong there.
Probably.
You don't think he's worthy of a number one overall pick?
I really don't, because
Depends on where you pick.
Well, 10 maybe, but I wouldn't.
Okay.
Because then you're going to cut yourself short on running backs, which I think running backs are premium. There are so many wide receivers this year that you can wait till the 4th or 5th round before you pick your first one and still have some people down there that are very, very good that can lead your team. You get guys like Cortland Sutton, who has a new quarterback, Joe Flacco, throwing to him, which is famous for the deep ball. You got Marquise Brown coming out of Oklahoma, one of a rookies that I think is going to do good with Lamar Jackson throwing to him. So there's,
So let's say I'm a homer, right? Who's my number one Cowboy pick?
Your number one Cowboy pick.
Ooh.
Wow.
Can you,
it's a no-brainer.
Can you pick a defensive? Can you pick a defensive lineman?
A kicker.
Kicker, Greg's their line. But no, going back to the Cowboys, if
Zeke's up,
if Zeke's there, you got to take him as one of your top 4.
Is he coming back before the season starts? What are your thoughts?
Me, I hope Jerry Jones sticks to his guns and don't give him what he wants.
That would be a no.
That would be a no, but.
All right, I've got some great notes.
Let's
see what happens. I've got 2 drafts this week.
Well, if you mess it up in the first one, you can make it right in the second one.
That's right. So
thing is, you should just play DraftKings, and I'm going to throw this out there for DraftKings and sponsorship. Maybe DraftKings will throw some sponsorship our way, but DraftKings, you get to reset your lineup every week.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not stuck with the same thing.
No, when you draft really bad, sometimes it helps to have another outlet to go by. So there you go.
Sure.
And Brett's laughing over there. He just has a hard time just getting his lineup in.
Draft bad or just first or second week have a season-ending injury to one of your stars.
And then you take, for instance, Dwayne last year. He took Le'Veon Bell but didn't handcuff himself with James Conner. And he can't say I didn't offer him a couple of guys for Le'Veon Bell all during the year, and he just wouldn't budge after. He just wouldn't budge.
Number one overall pick for me, and just tanked.
Well, you know what? When you're number one this year, take Ezekiel Elliott, and I hope you're on the same. You're riding that same boat this year.
Yeah, it's time to change the subject. So, Jeff.
But guys, all in all, I had a great time tonight. The kids were really, really enthused. The coaches were enthused. You know what? For the first night to start out this 2019 season, I'm all giddy. I'm ready.
Yeah, next week we're going to have Dr. Rohrbach on. He's going to give us a state of the district little preview, and I'm assuming that we'll probably have the head coaches, Disa Griggs and Lee Crisp will probably be in next week as well.
You actually have a professional football player who played with the Chicago Bears.
I'm actually
going to join us.
I'm going to see him this weekend, and I'm hoping that he will agree to stop by. He lives in Buda, so I'm hoping he will agree to come by. Last year I had one of my college coaches, Robert Garza, who played for the Bears and is one of the Modelo spokespeople. I'm going to see him this weekend, and I've talked to him before about it, and he's been agreeing to it. But hopefully we can get Robert in here this year. We're going to have some great community corner. We're going to have
extend the community corner.
Yeah, we're going to have some different people coming in from the community to talk more about what the history of Castroville and even Medina County as far as that goes. And one more thing I do need to throw out there, guys, real quick, is we do have a countdown. The countdown is
here we go.
Jared's wedding day.
Oh God.
Okay, and we will actually we will have to do a football game without Jared this year, and I don't know if we're going to be able to survive.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, but
y'all made it through last year one game.
Oh, did we? I don't know if we did. I had to do the play-by-play, and I don't know if we ran people off or if it was successful or not. But we want to wish them congratulations and good luck and all of that good stuff.
Dwayne and I are worried about is if something goes wrong with the application.
We're going to have to call timeout.
We're going to have a helmet mic or a helmet thing in his son's.
Yeah,
Garrison's thing, because he's going to be on the sidelines playing. So
if we have any technical difficulties, we're going to have to call timeout, put a hold on the game. Garrison's going to have to run up from the sidelines, and he's going to have to fix it for us.
So guys, let's do this, and this is to all 8 people that are watching and listening right now. Next week and for the next couple of weeks, while we have the Sports for Supper show, let's have people go ahead and text us and send us in some advice. Give us some one-liner advice for the new married couple that we're going to have in September, and we'll read them on air, and we'll try to give them some good advice and something that makes your marriage work for you.
I'm guessing the best one's going to be don't do it.
Don't do it.
He looks horrified.
It's already happening. It is happening, people. Okay, so why don't y'all text us or go to our Facebook page and give Jared some bits of advice.
Everybody knows a little bit about Jared, but we have to get the background on old Shanley over here to see what.
Well, the first thing you can say is she went to Bernie Champion.
Okay.
But here's the deal. Last year, she was in the press box with us during the Champion game. She actually found herself rooting for Medina Valley. So she's a little bit of a traitor, but she came to the right side. Yeah, exactly. Root for a winner.
Well, didn't she get thrown out of the Memorial game or the Kennedy game, though?
Oh, no. I almost didn't get in the press box to those because that lady did not help me out very well. Maury was scared we weren't getting up there.
Yeah, I was.
Well, we're looking forward to another exciting season. Yep. And not just football and volleyball. We're going to do basketball. We're going to do baseball. I mean, we got a whole season, a year in front of us. We had a lot of fun last year, kicking it off this year with the show and volleyball seasons. 17 games into the season, so we're rocking and rolling already.
Well, and last year you remember we had the tennis coach, the cross country team in here, and a lot of different things involved. Yes,
yeah, we missed out on softball and baseball last year, I think. So we're going to try to get them in here this year, and we'll get some things to. We're going to spice up the show, and hopefully with this new format that we have right now, we'll figure it out if we're going to have it for sure, next Wednesday, and we'll roll from there.
Absolutely, and I'd like to remind everyone to tune in next Wednesday to Sports for Supper here. We'll be live here at Sammy's Restaurant. And the other one is first football game is next Friday night against Waco La Vega. They come to Panther Stadium, and we'll be right here live to do those broadcasts, so be ready for that.
Yeah, and we'll start doing some volleyball broadcasts as soon as district play come around the corner here, and we'll do some of those games also.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to it. So first 1 to 10 down is a good broadcast here tonight for Maury, Dwayne, and Jeff and Garrison. I'm Jared Lucky saying good night, God bless, and we will see you next week when Sports for Supper continues.